This is the 14th video of Python for Beginners course. In this video, I will be teaching about object-oriented programming in Python. First, let's see what is object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is a programming method using classes and objects. Now let's see what are these classes and what are these objects. A class is a prototype for objects. For example, let's say a car. When we say a car, we don't get a picture of a bicycle. We have a module in our head of a car. And when we go to these objects are various type of example modules for these classes. Using the structure of this class, we can make various type of objects. For example, there are various type of cars using this module car. And there is another important word called methods. Methods are the functionality of an object. For example, when we want to go forward or backward, we have to rotate the wheels of a car. And when we want to stop it, we have to use the braking system. And to get the energy, car uses fuel. And this burning fuel is another method inside the class car. Now let's talk about object-oriented programming in Python. First, let's go to our folder and let's create new Python file called lesson 14, and I'll open it with my IDE. And in Python, to make a class, we have to give this keyword class first. Then we have to give a name for the class. In this video, I am going to teach you about a small banking system using this object-oriented programming. When we talk about that, in a bank there are users. So I'll take a class called members. When we talk about these members, they have names, user ID, and a balance. Balance means the amount of money that they are having in their bank accounts. Now, to define these things, we have to use a function called def init. This def init function is used to define initial properties of an object. So let's say this member is having a name and user ID. I'll call it as UID, and amount. Amount is the remaining balance of this bank account. And this self is an instance of an object. Let's talk more about that later. For now, we have to get this self too. By using this self, it is telling this Python we are going to initiate an object and we are giving this input for that object. Here we are giving this name, UID, and amount for an object. Self.name means the name of this member. This self.name equals name, which is the input that we are giving here. And likewise, self.uid equals UID that we are giving here. Likewise, self.amount equals the amount that we are giving. And this is basically a class without any methods. Let's talk about methods later. For now, I'll create an object. For example, let's say user1. User1 is a member of this bank, and now I'm going to give properties for this user1. To do that, type members, which is the class name or the prototype for this user, members, then its inputs. First we have to give this input, next this one, and lastly this amount. First let's give a name. For here I'll call it name1, and for UID I'll give U001, and for amount I'll give 40,000, and this is user 1. Likewise I'll create another user 2 equals u. Here I'll give name as name2 and UID as U002 and amount as 80,000. Now we have two objects. Now let's say we want to display these properties to user. To do that we can use this print. Let's say we want to print the name of this user1. Type user1 dot name. This name is the property and this is the object name. And let's run this and see what will happen. Go to command prompt and run this Python script. And as you can see, the given name is display. This is the name of user1. If we want to do display out. Now let's create some methods. Let's say we want to deposit into this bank account. For that, let's create a method called deposit. It is just like a normal function, but it is inside the class. Define then the name of the function. I'll call it deposit. Actually we need only one input, that is amount, and when we deposit that amount we have to increase the current balance, which means self.amount equals self.amount plus the amount. This will increase the current balance of the user. So we can just use this plus equals amount. This will increase the current amount of user, current balance of the user. And let's say we want another function to withdraw money. I will call it define withdraw, and for that method too we need amount. In that method what we have to do is we have to deduct that amount from current balance of user. So I'll type self.amount negative equals amount, which means it will deduct this amount from the current balance. Now we have this deposit and withdraw methods. Now let's see how to use them. In here I am going to give the user to make some choices. First we have to loop this program until user want to quit it. So I'll take a while loop, while I call user input. This is just a variable, I'll define it later. User input does not equal to q. This loop needs to be run. Here I'll give this user input equals false as its instance value, and while it is not equal to q, we have to repeat something. That is something like this. First we have to ask user for an input. Let's say it is something like this. Input 1 equals, we are giving user a message, please make a choice, and I will use triple quotes for this. so it is easy to type. And here I give one option. First one is to deposit money. And the second one is to withdraw money. And the third one is to say queue to quit. And when this user gives some kind of input for this input one, we have to do some functions. Actually, we have to do some conditions. First, let's check whether this user input equals to 1. Here should be a string 1. If this is equal to 1, we have to give the functionality of this deposit money, which we have defined here. For this thing, we need this amount. In real world, when a user go to deposit money, user input his card, then log into the system, then it deposit the money. In here we don't have that login system, so for this instance, I'll assume that user 1 is logged into the system. So I'm doing these functions for user 1, actually these methods. Using this user 1, I'll do these methods, which means when we deposit money, we are considering this user 1, not this user 2. If this user input equals 1, which means user want to deposit money, we are getting another input. I'll call it input, or I'll call it amount. Amount equals input and enter the amount. In real world, there are some mechanics to insert cash and it will automatically count and it will get this amount, but here we are going to enter the thing manually. This is not practical, but for this program it is efficient, so I will be using that. Enter the amount, and here we have to convert this into float, otherwise we cannot do our calculations. In these places I have also inserted them as integers, so we can consider them as float too. There is no difference for calculations. In here I'll take this amount as float. Then what I have to do is I have to increase this user 1's amount by the amount that we are entering here. So I'll type user 1 dot amount plus equals this amount. So this is actually what is happening, but in this case I am using this method. It is something like this: user 1 dot deposit the amount. And after that, this user 1's amount has been increased by the amount that we are entering here. Now we have to give the user message about this. First I will take another variable called old amount, which is equal user 1 dot amount before it has been changed. After this line, this amount will be changed into new amount, which is the addition of old amount and the amount we enter here. And now we are printing out some message like this. And let's give this old amount here. Then we are going to break a new line, then deposits. Then here the amount, and lastly I'll give the new balance, which is the new amount of user one dot amount, and that's it. I'll give here another space and make these things easy to read. Now this is how this deposit method works, and just like that, let's use withdraw function. In here I'll type elif user input equals 2. It is just the same thing, but we have to use withdraw here. Old balance is old balance. Here we have to change this into withdraws, then the amount, new balance is this. It's the same thing, and let's take another elif to quit this program. User input equals q. What we have to do, break the loop, and else if the user enters something else, it will give this error message, which is wrong input, and it will go to the loop again. And lastly, after this loop, let's give the user a message like this: print thank you for using our service. And that's it. Let's run this and see what will happen. And it's working, and it's telling us make a choice. I say I want to deposit money, and I press 1. It is saying the wrong input. Oh, here this should be input, user input, user INP. That's why that error happened. Let's run it again, and I'll type 1, enter the amount. I'll say 10,000. This one position argument 2 again. Line 26. We have to give this self here, or otherwise it won't get any object as instance object. Now let's try again. This is 10,000, and it is telling us old balance is 40,000, deposits are 10,000, and the new balance is 50,000. Now let's withdraw some money. I'll type 2, and I'll enter as 30,000, and the last balance should be 20,000. As we expect, our old balance is 50,000 and withdraws are 30,000. The new balance is 20,000. Now let's say we want to quit. When you type Q, it says thank you for using our service, and it will quit. And in that way, we can use these object-oriented programming concepts in Python. So this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching.